Hello, and welcome to Life Lessons by Jenine Marie. Today we're going to talk about the first principle out of the 5 principles of Reiki. I will not anger. So please stay with me. Hello, everybody. This is Jenine Marie. I'd like to just thank you for, number one, watching my video today and allowing me into your sacred space. When you watch a video or you listen to someone's teaching or you listen to anyone, you're actually allowing them into your sacred space. And that is something I'm very grateful for, because it is an honor to have someone listen to whatever it is I have to say or teach. I like to receive my spiritual downloads, and when I receive them, I present them. They don't happen on a regular schedule, so I kind of go with the flow, because the river knows where to go. But anyway, it's a great honor to have you here. I'm so grateful. I'd like to present to you the 5 principles of Reiki in a series. And today we're going to start with the very first principle of Reiki, just for today, I will not anger. But before I do that, I'd like to point you to my Patreon account, where you can receive full Reiki training via video and also the manuals that I will be uploading. And it will go anywhere from level 1 Reiki all the way to master level certification, whatever you desire. It's $11 per month to subscribe. You can cancel at any time. And then you will also have some information on attunements and things like that when we get to that. Or you can go on to my website at janinemarie.com. There's a little bit of information about attunement costs and how I present Reiki attunements, because you have to have the teaching and the attunements in order to provide Reiki. So today, we're going to go over, just for today, I will not anger. I think that you can probably agree with me when I say there isn't a day that goes by that we don't go out in the world, if we're living and breathing in it, that we don't receive some kind of negativity around us or some kind of anger that comes from that negativity. And that's basically what it is. It's hurt and it's anger. In a nutshell, what this world needs now is love, sweet love, but we also need some peace and serenity, and we need healing above and beyond anything else. It's why I'm going to dedicate my podcast to healing. I believe every type of healing that we can present to anyone who's interested is very important, and please pass it on. We need healing. So, just for today, I will not anger. Does that mean that today I'm going to suppress my anger when someone comes at me and I'm not going to let it out? No, it doesn't mean that. Because if we do suppress our anger, which is really expressed hurt, what we're doing is we're pushing the hurt down further and further inside of ourselves, and it becomes what I refer to as soul bedrock. It's just soul scar upon soul scar upon soul scar, and we just press it down. We live in a world where we're often kind of led to believe or feel like we can't present ourselves as authentic as we would like to. Don't you ever feel like that? I know I do. Let me just tell you a quick story, and it's about when I used to attend regular church services. I was in the bathroom, and believe me, my granddaughter's gonna love this. I was in the bathroom. I'm not going to explain, but this part I will explain. I was in the bathroom feeling like I could not go out into the service, because I knew that every service started with praise. And, it always made me feel good, but I didn't feel good quite often. I was going through a very difficult time in my life. We all go through it. Life can be very challenging. But what was really challenging me at that moment is I didn't feel like going out there and being in joy. I didn't want to fake it till I make it, right? I didn't want to create bedrock on top of bedrock. I wanted to let it out, and I felt like I wasn't going to be in a comfortable space to let it out, that if I wasn't going to be in joy, then I wasn't going to be behaving as a good worshiper or, a good participant. This is not criticism by any means. It's just my story. So there I am in the restroom, and I'm starting to cry because I can't do it. And a very dear friend of mine came into the restroom and she said, "Jenine, what's wrong? You're always so happy. Why are you crying? Something happened?" And I looked at her and I said, "I can't go out there. I just can't." And she's like looking at me, "Is there something wrong? Is someone out there? Are you in trouble?" And I had to explain to her there was no way that I was going to be able to feel the joy. I might be able to fake it for a little while, but then when the service was over, I was going to go home and feel just as miserable and hurt as I felt that moment. Life was serving me up a lot of stuff that was really painful and very difficult to go through. And she looked at me and she gave me probably the best advice that I ever heard. I was very young. I had very young children. And she said, you don't have to be anything for anybody. You don't have to be fake. You don't have to be unreal. If you feel sad and you feel like crying, whether everybody else is joyful and laughing around you and singing or whatever they're doing, if that's not what you feel at the moment, don't do that. Be real. Cry if you have to, because that's what being real is. That's what being authentic really is with God, with our source, however you choose to see God. And at the time, it was kind of a traditional religion, a Christianity type situation. But at the time, I wanted to be real before God, but I wanted to participate in a way that I felt was acceptable for me, how I would be accepted. And I wouldn't be accepted if I wasn't going to participate in some kind of fake form of joy. Why did that seem healing? It just didn't, and it isn't. The only way we can heal is to be authentic. And because we're all the spark of God, we all carry that spark of God within us, we are standing before God every single moment of our day. Whether we're standing in front of a person, whether we're, just here by ourselves, we are surrounded by God, our Creator, who knows us better than anything or anyone ever could. So the moment I am fake and phony, it's known immediately. I think that phoniness or that fakeness or that, trying to stuff the pain down hits the universe. And I really believe through universal law, it's going to give me more and more to be painful about until I come to a point where, boom, I'm angry. I can't take any more. And that's what anger speaks. I can't take anymore. This is touching the place that hurts me. I need healing. Now, if someone is doing something to you or saying something that is extremely hurtful and it's their bad behavior, that's for them to deal with. But if you spat it off in anger and you need to figure out what it is that's beneath that anger, that's your issue to deal with. The other person's not responsible for your hurt feelings and your anger. They are responsible for being good to other people and good to themselves. That's their lesson. If they created a situation where it triggered you, they're not innocent, okay? It doesn't by any means excuse another person's bad behavior towards you. But when you go off on your own and you feel this anger still seething inside of yourself, please know there's something in you that you need to deal with. And if you sit long enough and just breathe, it'll come to you. Ask for answers. You are surrounded by the greatest spiritual teachers that you could possibly have. You have your higher self, your higher being, you have your subconscious mind, however you choose to see it. You know, for me, I'm surrounded by God's source. I'm surrounded by the angels. I have Jesus as my master. I love Mother Mary. I have all of the angels. I have spiritual support from loved ones that are a part of the source now. This is my world. And I have, you know, first and foremost, me. I have my intuitive ability, my gut feeling, my intuition, everything that's inside of me that I've been gifted with and that's around me that will spell out, okay? The synchronicities will come if you ask. What is this that is causing this hurt feeling that is coming out in this anger? And you will receive the answer. Jesus taught you don't receive because you don't ask. So if you ask, you're going to receive. So ask for the answer. Where am I hurt? And how can I deal with this better? Because the next time it comes up again, you'll go, oh, there's something about this that triggers my anger, and there's an unresolved issue inside of me. And I want to be authentic, so I'm going to go into my space and I'm going to seek out my authenticity. I want to seek my authenticity. And that's a really great affirmation for you today. I will be authentic. I seek my authenticity. Today, I will not anger. It's a statement of healing. It's almost like putting it out there that I am in the process of healing. I am in the process of becoming. Every single day of our lives, because nothing ever stays the same, we're in the process of always becoming. We can make things stay the same, by being stubborn and saying, well, I refuse to deal with this. It's not my fault that they're being a turd. That's a spiritual word, turd, okay? It's not my fault they're being a jerk. No, it isn't. But it's your responsibility for your own healing. And you will see and notice, just like I did in that church service that day, I went out there and I just let it go. I let it go. And what I found is not only was I joined and loved by people around me that genuinely cared and loved me and had compassion for me, but I went home and I didn't feel that feeling of still being in anguish. I was authentic. And it was a huge lesson for me, and a lesson that I've got to learn all the time. We're not perfect beings, but the more we practice being aware of our own hurts and our own anger and our own issues, the more we practice putting out there, today I will not anger, the more authentic it's going to become. Because you need, number one, to be authentic with yourself. You can't be authentic with anybody else unless you're authentic with yourself. You've got to be truthful with yourself. Number one, be grateful for who you are, because you have come through insurmountable stuff and junk to have this bedrock of stuff inside of you and for it to spurt out in anger. You are an absolute miracle on this planet. Know that, get that, understand that, digest it. Really, don't be ashamed of anything that comes up and out of you, because it's there to teach you. The life we lead is our teacher and our instructor. And the day that we stop learning is the day it's time to go home, right? And I mean, really home, to be with the source, if there's nothing else left to learn. Or there are other reasons, I'm sure. But for today, we want to just put out there, I will not anger. So we will be very aware when the hurt gets touched and the anger starts to bubble up. We know that there's a process we're going through. Boom, you're going to be reminded. This process is my personal process, and it's important. It's important to God who created me. It's important to my life. It's important to the people around me. It's important to those that I love. It's important to humanity. It's important to this world. Today, I won't be angry. You know, it's so hard for me sometimes when I watch things on the news and people are so upset about things and they're expressing it over the news. And I'm like, gosh, are they ever going to get it? Are they ever going to get it? That it's hurt inside of you that you're dealing with. You're not mad at the world. It might be presented that way. You're not mad at humanity. You're upset because humanity hurt you or somebody in it. We're all one, so basically humanity hurt you. So what you need to deal with first and foremost, instead of judging lest you be judged, is deal with your anger. Just for today, I will not anger. I will not anger. I'm working towards authenticity. And it's going to be such a blessing to my life and to the lives of those who are around me. Because don't you want to be an example of love and light to everybody that's around you? And let them know, this is my process. I'm angry at you because it hurts. Whatever you said, whatever you did, triggered something inside of me. And it might be bedrock. It might be a new hurt. It might be, something that just struck you today and they touched the wound and it bothered you. But whatever it is, your time to deal with it. So for today, you can say, just for today, I will not anger. God bless you. I love you from here. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope it gave you something to listen to and to think about and to really digest inside of you. Go into your happy place, into your center, into your core, and take anything that you hear and bring that back to your very core. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to be allowed into someone's sacred space. So please, thank you so much. It is such an honor to be able to be accepted into your sacred space. Thank you so very much. From the bottom of my heart, from the bedrock that's in there that I'm bringing out so that I can say, just for today, I will not anger. I do want to say I'm loving you from here. Many blessings to you. And I'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.